All right, so here is the piece of software I've been working on. Uh, it has several different screens you can go to from the navigator window. And this is the main window that opens up when you first launch the application. It has enter yellow sheets, enter pink sheets, lookup sheets, run reports, and scan work process. The only screens that are currently fully functional are enter yellow sheets, lookup sheets, and scan work process. Run reports does nothing, and enter pink sheets brings up this window that is not yet completed, but I am currently working on that. So let's start from the beginning with enter yellow sheets. When you first click enter yellow sheets, you're presented with this window here, and this has all of the information that is on the yellow sheets, which should be all the information required to cost our products. You'll see that it records the purchase order issue date, the PO number, so we can tie it back to the purchase order in econometry, different item numbers and quantities. It tracks all of our variables and costing amounts for paper, the pre-press information, the day that it went to pre-press, plate making time, the number of plates, even the plate size. And then we have the press section that again has the date that it went to press. You're able to select which machine the job was run on. It tells us the operator that ran the press, and then it records the other factors such as make ready, waste or wash time, run time, total sheets used, and good sheets produced. And of course we can derive the waste sheets from subtracting, good sheets produced from total sheets. And then we have all the bindery information, the cutting, the die cutting machine, setup time, etc., folding, glue folding, and the miscellaneous finish bindery tasks like collating, padding, drilling, saddle stitching, and boxing and packaging time. All of this comes together to spit out a final quantity delivered value, which tells us how many were actually produced after all was said and done. And so we were able to take this final quantity delivered and subtract it from our number of parent sheets and tell us exactly how much waste there was on any given job, which is kind of handy for calculating our make ready required for each job. So I'm going to not fill out this sheet just for the sake of time. But one thing I will show you here is that we are able to gang different items together. And so let's say that I had a business card 001Q, let's just say, and let's say I wanted 500 of those. I can add that to my gang over here on the right, and you'll see that it has the SKU on the left and the quantity on the right. And let's say that I had another business card that was going to be run in the same gang, and let's just say it was design 002, and we wanted 600 of those. We can add those to the gang. And so now these business cards will be costed as though they were run together in the same gang, which is handy because that's exactly the way that we do things at IDEA. So it will distribute the total cost of each set of business cards based on the quantity ordered of each card. So that's that. When you hit Save Sheet, it saves everything to the database, and this screen goes away, and you're done with that yellow sheet. And then you can go into here to the Lookup Sheets. And this is the sheet that really has all the magic that we care about. And I've already entered a purchase order information into the yellow sheet, and the purchase order we're working with is 34956. So we can type that in, we can hit search, and it brings up all the PO's information. Now, the Excel spreadsheet that I have on the right is one of Rachel's costing sheets that she works out of. And so what we're going to do is we're going to compare the values in her costing sheet with the values in our cost tracking utility that I've made. So in the cost tracking utility, when we look up the sheet, we'll see that we have the PO number, we have the PO issue date, the total quantity ordered, and the final quantity produced. Now you'll see here that we ordered 6,000 and we actually produced 6754. And that is because if we go down here to the bottom, the total quantity plus make ready is 7,200, meaning that 7,200 sheets went through the press, and we wasted 446 of them due to setup and whatever errors happened, and it produced 6754. So we know that on this particular job, we had about 3 times the make ready that we needed. So this is going to be wonderful in trimming that down and actually pulling the right amount out of inventory to produce the amount that we actually need, because we may have a tendency to overstock the shelves if we don't get a handle on it. So the next thing in here is the total purchase order cost, which is $690 and 60, basically 70 cents. And then the unit cost is 10.22 cents per, these are warranties, it looks like, over here. And so our total cost is $690, and the unit cost is basically 10 cents, 10.2 cents. And then we go down here to this cost breakdown section, and we can see that the total paper cost was $165, the total plate cost was $132, the press cost was $119, the ink, the cutting, the die cutting, folding, glue folding, foil and emboss, miscellaneous bindery, which is like packaging and boxing and etc. So it has all the different elements that we need to add up to cost this purchase order, and it just sums them up on one screen, so you can really get a handle on where your costs are going to create this total PO cost. And so if we look at this total here, the $690 and basically 70 cents, and we look over at Rachel's inventory costing Excel spreadsheet, you'll see that the cell that I have highlighted has the exact same dollar amount as in the costing sheet. And so this kind of confirms that the software is performing its function accurately, and it looks like it's going to do what we need it to do. So that's a good thing. And that's all I have for that. The next thing I would like to show you is this Scan Work in Process button. This is something that's additional that I kind of threw in as a little Easter egg that we might want to look at using temporarily or permanently, I'm not sure. But this fulfills the functionality of the econometry scan points, and it writes to a database that is identical to the econometry one, so we could use this in place of the econometry scanning and produce the same report that they're using now to check where work orders are or collates are through the warehouse. And so what would happen is a end user would click here, and they would pick which area they're in. So let's say they're in bindery, and they would click in this cell, and they would scan a barcode that would have the order number, which is basically the barcode on the collate that they use now, and it would end up with an order number that, whatever order number that is. And when they scan it, it would automatically push F7, like the current scanners do, and it would submit it. And that's it. And so you could scan products in and out of different areas of the warehouse using this tool that, again, fulfills the exact same functionality as the econometry scan points do, only it's a little more lightweight. It's got a much more friendly user interface, and I think it'll do the job. So we may not use this, but just wanted to let you know that it's available after we go to Natural Solutions, if there's nothing we found to fill that role yet. So that's all that I have.